My pornography addiction started when I was about 14 or 15. At first it was once a day, then it was twice a day, then it was 3 times a day, and then sometimes it would just be for hours.
Pretending to strangle me, or like things that I could tell they'd seen in pornography, and spanking me and things, like hitting me, but not like very hard.
Porn has to be seen as fantasy rather than reality. I really don't see a big deal in pornography at all.
I looked to porn because I had to find out about gay sex on the internet late at night.
When you do watch porn, are you comparing me to those women when we're having sex?
I think pornography has definitely caused women being completely shaven or almost completely shaven to be more normal than them having their normal hair.
There is an element of the real world being boring in comparison to porn. I think porn is, you know, kind of reality on acid, so you can literally discover a perfect version of whatever.
Hi Rebecca.
Hi.
Alright, if you want to lie down in bed, we'll get started.
Okay.
So, what waxing are we doing today? With Brazilian, Hollywood?
I think I'm going to go for a Brazilian today.
You normally do Hollywood though.
I know I do, but now I've been feeling like I might want a little bit more hair down there.
What, because it's getting a bit chilly?
Yeah.
I like a landing strip.
I like a landing strip actually.
Certainly.
I'm quite partial. I don't want a hairy Janet 24/7, but I'm also not into the bald look.
Porn, you know, there's categories that are for different types of body hair, you know, like, so I think it really teaches men that they have to have a preference when it comes to female hair. And it's not actually anything to do with the men, it's actually to do with the woman and what she wants. You know, I've been with boys who've said, oh, you have to keep shaving, it's gross if you don't shave. And so I've just carried on shaving because it's what the man wants, without stopping and questioning it and thinking, yeah, but can I be bothered to shave?
Was that? God, that was bad. That was a sore bit, that was.
It's literally 10 seconds of pain.
For a beautiful vagina.
I remember all the boys always like commenting about, you know, oh, we're not going to go near a hairy this and that.
Hairy fanny, oh my God.
No, but they weren't. It was really embarrassing. You know, even I felt, I'm super hairy being Mediterranean, so
yeah.
I just thought, oh my God, no boy's going to want me. Why do you think that is?
I think because it's sometimes seen as being a bit unclean, which isn't true.
I think porn has definitely had an impact on what men expect women's body to be like. I do sort of get self-conscious about like my body hair and things like that. I hadn't shaved in a while, and then I ended up I got drunk and then had a one-night stand with some guy from my university. But then like I think it was like a month later or something, my housemate said to me, oh, I just spoke to so-and-so, and they said, yeah, I heard she slept with so-and-so and that she's filthy and she doesn't shave. And then that really hurt me because, I mean, it's quite like hard to hear that you're filthy just for something that's like a natural part of your body. And yeah, I mean, after that, I sort of definitely made sure I shaved like every little patch on my body. I've ended up spending over £2,000 overall on laser hair removal to make sure that, you know, it stays that way as well. So it's not been great from my perspective.
Like, why do porn stars choose to have no hair? I mean, I don't know.
Because everything needs to be on show, and you know what men are like, they're a bit...
So it is cleaner? Is that what it is?
No, not because it's cleaner, because they want to see the girls'
Oh,
button
like the exposure of
yeah.
every nook and cranny.
I know.
Oh, maybe. But yeah, okay, I kind of see that.
They want to be their own sort of mini gynecologist behind the computer, don't they?
You like it, don't you? Let's go.
Sorry, how old did you say you were?
I was probably 9 or 10.
9 or 10? That's really young.
Well, exactly, so I didn't know what to make of it. I didn't like girls at the time. I really started to look at it actively, probably in year 8. Quickly found myself addicted, and since then been sort of trying to work my way away from it, trying to remove it from my life. Obviously it's hard. It is an issue for me and my wife, Rachel.
Because it makes me feel rubbish about myself. Like if you sometimes look at porn, now that we're married, I just feel like, am I not giving you something that you want?
Because some people say, don't they, like, oh, yeah, I look at porn, it's nothing to do with my relationship though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just a private thing I do. If I said that to you, like, why would you not believe me?
Because it's so part of your sexuality, isn't it? Like, I don't think you can sort of masturbate to porn and then pretend that it's not part of your sexuality. I don't look at porn actually myself. I think people who are too young to know what it is and the effects that it can have on your brain look at it, and I think that's really awful for them, and it sort of loses their innocence quickly. It gives them an idea about sex that isn't real and isn't true. I think as well, like the way the industry treats people, and like it treats them like commodities, and I don't like that. It's really hard because I sometimes don't know how to help you. I know we have some software for you, don't we, to help you.
A software on my computer that flags up websites that might be inappropriate and sends a list of them to my wife. Yeah, and I think the best thing about that is that it's so strict that you'll get some stuff that's kind of innocuous, but some stuff like maybe I just was thinking about something or whatever, or like, you know, clicked on an image and then forgot about it. Yeah. It all comes up like before. Like a disaster.
I find that kind of helpful. I'd rather have that difficult conversation with you and feel crappy for like an hour or two than feel crappy for days because it turns out there's loads of stuff been going on and I haven't known about it. He chose to get it, he wanted to get it, and he thought it'd be a positive thing. I feel like you cheat on me sometimes. That's how it feels.
Well, I think it's fair. I don't understand people who say like, no, watching porn isn't the same as having sex, because it's as close as you can get to having sex with someone without actually having sex with them. So I mean, if you don't want to have sex with the person in the video, you look like you want to.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think that pornography addiction just affects you in the bedroom, or it affects you when you're watching it, but it's more than that. Obviously, I had a history of sexual abuse before that, so using pornography addiction it almost replaced my abuser, because I had been away from my abuser and my mind was so used to sex from a very young age that I felt that porn would give me some sense of normality, because to me, being molested and being sexually abused was my normality. I spent a lot of time watching it, I spent a lot of time thinking about it, and a lot of porn addicts probably sex addicts as well, will tell you that with addiction you're doing it, and then when you finish doing it you feel guilt, and then you want to do it again. So in that sense it's mentally time consuming. It made me see people as sexual objects and not as people, because if you spend a long amount of time watching porn, that becomes almost like that becomes your social circle in a sense. The people that you see in it just mirror people that you see in real life. So people become, you can't stop your brain from thinking about sex. So when you see people, that's all you think about anyway.
It just makes it about actions, it's not about emotions and connection. Yeah. And I think, you know, what's the point in sex on your own? I think it is boring and it's a bit underwhelming. Yeah. So, you know, it's not as good.
With porn, there's no emotional feedback, there's no comfort, there's no one kind of, you know, you've had a crap day in work, porn doesn't kind of talk to you about that. I'm in therapy for sex addiction. Pornography has allowed me to build an emotional barrier between myself and other people. It's kind of taken me down some quite dark paths that possibly, if I had a complete open choice, I wouldn't have gone down. I've used it as a means of distancing myself from emotional vulnerability.
When you do watch porn, are you comparing me to those women when we're having sex?
Well, it's a question that I'd usually just avoid, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the answer will always be yes and no.
Yeah.
You know, in some ways, if you're looking at porn, you choose who you watch, and you know, you don't like that bit of their body, you just find another one. You know, it's no coincidence what you're watching. You know, I've chosen to marry you. I'm not unhappy with your body. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is what you look like when I married you. It's not been that long.
Yeah, true.
I do like the way you look. And I like your body, and without saying too much, it's, you know, it's a body that I like.
Good.
I must say, this is awful, I have watched out of curiosity, like how to do things. So that's probably why they're watching it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because you just want to know.
It's quite entertaining, isn't it? Even if you're not, like, let's say if me and you were to watch something now, we'd be like, oh my God, haha, that's hilarious. And then it kind of grabs your curiosity, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, he's put it in there at that angle, maybe I'll give that a go. Do you know what I mean?
That's true, that's true.
I think the sex education given in schools is pretty poor. Pornography is clearly a lot clearer on how sex works. You don't really get taught that much in school when you're at the young age about how sex works. And I think for a lot of young people nowadays, they're getting their fundamental understanding of how sex works from watching pornography.
I have been on public transport and seen a man watching porn on his phone.
But doing what? With his hands in his pockets?
Just watching it like it's a film. Like watching it like it's
like an episode of Friends?
Like an episode of Friends, yeah. On the train. Jesus. I'm like, mate, there's a time and a place. And it's not now.
Wow.
I knew I was gay from as long as I can remember. However, it was something that I couldn't speak to anyone about. And it was something that you never kind of see on TV or in the media. And especially sex education at my school anyway, there was no LGBT element to that. Even though I played it straight at school and I had girlfriends, I felt like that was the right way of life. And what I was watching in porn was the wrong way of life, but it was what I wanted. And it definitely brings in that escapism aspect of porn, where it's a safe space that you can actually think what you want to think and enjoy it. To actually find out that other people were doing what I thought about was reassuring and at the time really amazing to feel. I think that as well, there was a social element to it because a lot of the porn sites that I went on had chat rooms or things like that, where not only were you viewing porn, you were talking about porn with other like-minded people. And that's something that I imagine a lot of straight guys at my age were able to do with each other in real time, whereas I was having to do it on the internet in secret.
Definitely, like clients that I've had, obviously they're of the gay community, they prefer waxing.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, because it makes their Johnsons look bigger.
Yeah. I definitely think that porn helped me realise who I was, and without it, it would probably have taken me a lot longer. When I turned about 18, I started realising that I was bisexual. But being young and being bisexual is quite difficult because, you know, like, I don't know which other girls are into that sort of thing or what. So basically, my sexual experiences were confined to being only with men. So porn was a way for me to kind of explore what else is out there. So I started watching lesbian porn, which kind of helped me realise what I was into and what my sexual preferences were without having to actually do it with a real other person.
I have actually found out from a couple of friends and stuff. Everyone's doing anal at the moment.
Oh wow.
I know.
Yeah, it's definitely it's more sort of acceptable now, isn't it? I guess, or I don't know where it's come from, but that is sort of normal now, isn't it?
I think porn's definitely caused anal sex to be more common recently. Yes, it's definitely become a much less taboo thing today than it used to be. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just about asking first, really.
I remember a school nurse saying, never ever let a man like do anal, like on you, obviously, or engage in anal, because basically there's no pleasure in it for the woman. It's just like a power trip thing. It's for them to gain power over you. And that always stuck in my mind. So I was always a bit like, oh, I'm not doing that. Just
some girls
because
enjoy
of that.
Don't they?
Like, no, and no.
Things in porn that men might like, that they think are normal, you know, like ejaculating on a woman's face without asking her.
Ejaculating on a girl's face is something that you see in every single porn film or scene that I've watched. Every single one of them, that always happens. In real life, I think that would have to depend on the girl. I think you'd have to agree on set boundaries before any sex would take place.
You know, like violence, like slapping her or choking her without asking. I think a lot of the problem is consent, because obviously if you're watching porn and it's about to get a little bit more kinky and then the man stops and says, wait, are you okay with this? It kind of kills the mood.
Has anyone ever tried to strangle you?
Oh, I've heard of stuff like that. No. But again, that's a power trip, isn't it?
I wouldn't mind that. Fine, go for it.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if you could?
But I'd like them to ask first.
No, but when we're saying strangle, I mean what, like full on, take it, bitch, or just a little bit around the neck, like, ooh.
Dunno.
Just hold you firmly down on the bed.
Depends who you get, doesn't it, I suppose?
Oh God. Yeah, but where are they getting this from? It's absolute madness.
Blatantly porn. It must be.
I'm definitely not someone that enjoys that kind of rough sex, but I'd say there have been quite a few times where it's been a lot more rough than I expected it to be. I've had some experiences where I felt like things haven't been quite 100% consensual, and that they've thought that that was an okay thing to do because of what they'd seen in pornography. Pretending to strangle me or like spanking me and things like, yeah, just, I don't know, just kind of sort of hitting me, but not like very hard, but sort of quite, yeah, things like that. I have, you know, spoken up about it, but they'll still try and do it anyway. It'll take me like multiple times saying, oh no, this is not okay, before they sort of get the message that I'm not comfortable with it.
Sleazy city, sleepy people, down in your alleys, seems that anything goes.
Like I want you to think that I'm thinking about you in the day, you know, when you're not there, when I'm at work or whatever, I'm thinking, oh, isn't my wife beautiful, isn't she great, like I can't wait to see her, whatever. I don't want you to think that I'm thinking about other people.
The last time I watched porn was 2012 summer, I think. The way I feel about myself now and the way I feel about porn is very different to before. I feel liberated, and when I became a Christian, I kind of just felt like someone take a weight off my shoulders.
I feel like we are making progress with it, like, because we do talk about it with each other. Like, we're always open to having the conversation about like what is going on in your sort of life at the moment to do with it.
Last time I watched pornography will have been last night. I usually watch pornography maybe 3 or 4 times a week. There isn't much respect for women at all in porn, but in real life, in real sex, I think there is respect for women. Well, I would hope that the vast majority of the population can understand that porn is porn, it's fantasy, and that reality and real sex are 2 completely different things. It is a harmless bit of fun, and that's how it should be treated. It shouldn't be seen as this big taboo subject.
But I think sexuality is about relationships. It's not about you and yourself and your own selfish needs. It's about, ultimately, the best sex we have is when we're trying to be good to each other. It's not when I'm trying to get what I can get out of it. Yeah. And when it's like that, it's bad.
The last time I watched porn was probably about a month and a half ago. I have quite a complicated relationship with porn because I know that sort of the industry side of things can be quite corrupt, and I don't like the exploitation of women, and I don't like the way that it makes men see women, but I also really do recognise the benefits of it for people who maybe don't know who they are yet and are trying to find out. I think sex is now seen as this sort of really fun and crazy activity, and like it should be fun and crazy if you want that, but it should also be, you know, about affection, and I think the affection side has definitely been lost because of porn.
Sex is about relationships, so, and because it's like the ultimate connection between 2 people, I think you, like, when you kind of take it away from that, you make it into something a bit more abstract, then it kind of takes away the beauty of that or the magic of it. And maybe that is unpopular, but I think it's kind of sad that, you know, sex has lost the magic of it, I guess, by sort of exposing it to the world. It kind of makes it into like base human movements as opposed to like connecting with somebody, which I think is what it really is about, isn't it? That's why we have sex, to connect with someone else.
I last watched porn about 12 weeks ago. It's had at points really devastating impact on my own well-being and mental health, and it's only in the last kind of 6 months, 7 months that I'm kind of finally actually seeing some change.
Last time I saw porn was probably a few days ago. Yeah, a few days ago. It's very difficult for me to decide if porn has been good for me or bad for me because I do think it's been a combination. I know that I wouldn't have been able to learn about myself without porn. However, I do know that the escalation of porn that I watch has been so extreme that it is a case of like, well, where does it end?
Each to their own, I suppose. I think it's good that people are more open about it and it is like an open thing. But yeah, the only consequence of that, it does lead to sort of like this expectation in the bedroom. Is this the last bit?
It's almost the last bit. Maybe some men would get turned on by this.
Probably.
Girl gets waxed.
Yeah. Well, there is that whole pain thing as well, isn't it? All this, like, what's it called again?
What?
S&M.
And
Not M&S, S&M.
Oh.